Happy Tuesday, everybody, and gracious vibrations to you all. This is a message from a question that was asked of me in the previous text or message, inbox DM message came in. And so I'm going to start trying to answer some of these questions via video, so that some people can hear. Maybe y'all have the same similar questions, and maybe the person who asked the question is listening, and I can provide the answer, widespread. And so the question is, how does one just be, right? And this is really, 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 really difficult in the mind of someone who is asking that question. I can understand why. Let me help you understand two things. One of the easiest things to do is to come up with an idea, but come up with an idea that works. And the second thing, which is the hardest thing to do, is to just do what naturally comes to you. So one of the things that's easy to do is come up with ideas that work. See, we're always trying to do something. We're always trying to do. And we're always trying to push ourselves forward into the idea of life, into this idea of something, some label that we can feel good about ourselves and we can call ourselves. But the thing is, once all of those things have passed, all of the labels, once all of the titles, once all of the things, once you've reached that label or that title or that position, you're going to want to aspire for more. And therefore, the shell of that position falls away. And now you need a new title. You need a new label. You need a new addition to your first, a new prefix to your first name or suffix to your last name or to the end of your name. And so we're trying to find prefixes and suffixes to put on our names, like doctor, such and such and such, MD, such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to find these prefixes and suffixes to add to our name, to add to our ego, to add to our title, to make us feel important in life. And the hardest thing to do is to just do what naturally comes to you. Why? Because the natural things that come to you may not bring in a lucrative asset of money, business, things like that. You may not make a lot of money doing what you naturally do, but that's not really true, because you got comedians doing what they love. You got actors doing what they love. You got athletes doing what they love. There are a lot of people that just do what they naturally do. And from the child, an athlete plays basketball from the time of a child and just starts to develop into a great player. And next thing you know, all eyes on him, right? And so this could happen for you. And in the sense of when we're talking about just being, when we talk about just being, we're not talking about just be still, don't do anything. But what we're talking about is stop trying to think of things that you know is going to take more doing and more work for you to do, for you to become. And that's why when I say just be, to just be is not to become. Because when we just, listen to me, when we just be and we try to become something, we bypass the being. Because we're looking down the road trying to become something. We're looking for something to come into being. And the thing is, we need to just be. And you'll wake up days on end and you'll just do what naturally just comes to you. Maybe you are a writer and you just naturally want to grab a pen and a paper and just start writing things down. That happens with me. Maybe you love sports and maybe you love going to play basketball and you just want to, you got this urge to just get up and want to go shoot hoops. And that may come natural to you. And there are things like sewing that comes natural to us. There are things like creating that comes natural to us. But we don't know how to just be in the natural form. Instead, we try to come what's into being or become something. We try to see the things that are to come into being. And the thing is, when we look past our beingness, because we're looking at to become something, we are moving and losing the present. We are moving and losing the present moment. And what we need to do is stop looking to become, stop looking down the road for something to come into being and start looking at what's here what's right now and what's in our beingness. And so, therefore, when you are trying to aspire yourself to this great level of status and position in life, you're looking to become ahead of something, ahead of someone, and you're trying to get all these suffixes and these prefixes added to your name. And none of these things do you really any good, because the moment you break one layer of suffix and or prefix and you're looking to add another prefix to your name, it's not enough. You need MD, you need bachelors, you need masters, you need PhDs, and you got to even become more. Now after your PhD, you got to become certified, and you got to go take class, all that kinds of stuff that adds more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And that's just really life telling you more of what you really don't need. The more and more, listen to me, the more and more life tells you this is what you need, that is a clue, that is a sign of more and more and more of what you don't need. You understand what I'm saying? Because you think that's what you need. And the hardest thing to do is to just be still in our natural beingness. The easiest thing to do is to just come up with ideas, which causes us to think, which causes us to do, and which causes us to do more than it causes us to do more of what we're asked of to do. We're doing more than what we are asked to do. And we don't need to do more of what we're asked to do. We need to do less. And that's how you just be. The less you do, the more you are being. The less you do, the more you are being. The more you do, the more you are doing. And so when we are doing less, we are being. We are being still. We are being one within ourselves. And we're coming to understand who we are so we can hear. With all of the chaos of doing going on inside of us, it helps us lose who we are. And we don't want to lose more of who we are. We want to gain more of who we are. And we do that by exiting ourselves out of the things that we are doing and entering back into our whole self, into our beingness. That's how you just be. Exit out of the things you are doing, enter back into yourself. I am.